Alright, kick off the stream. Should be good. Let's go ahead, fire up the prediction. As we get everything set up here, let me check my music real quick, make sure it's properly looped. It wasn't. Good thing I checked that. And now we're going to go ahead. Get that all set up. I'll set that to 20. Alright, there we go. I had to get all that predictions and whatnot set up. I also paid out the yesterday's ops prediction a little later after I finished the stream because I thought Don was, but it was a miscommunication. So when I came back, I was able to get that paid out. But how are you guys doing? Wee Woo here. We have an interesting operation today. 3 rounds of FNF. Pretty sure this might be the only thing we stream today because I'm going to be using the rest of the day to just relax. I've been taking it easy today. I've been working on some other projects and some logistics for some fun stuff. Seedorf is unfortunately not playing in FNF today. I'm so sorry to tell you. But regardless, this is round 1 of FNF. We're going to be covering all 3 rounds today. And that should be our only stream. Might do a late night DayZ stream, but we'll just have to see. Regardless, Blue 4, we've got 3 defensive caches on a hilltop right here on the map Susari, which is this lawn Finnish Peninsula style map. And then Green 4 has a spawn point of pretty much anywhere around. They've got 6 speedboat miniguns. I'm pretty sure they're probably going to be starting down in this town because that has a harbor that'll allow for those speedboat miniguns to be moved around. Really, though, with this being about a 90-person operation, we'll have to see where things go. And you saw me ask if Seedorf was going to play in FNF yesterday. He said probably not, and I will follow up and say he's not here tonight. So please, for the love of God, guys, he's not here. You can go home now. It's all good. But regardless, with Green 4 being able to deploy pretty much anywhere on the coast right here, with the exception of not right there, can just have an attack from anywhere. Really, this is going to force Blue 4 to kind of stay defensive. They got a very limited build zone around their objectives. I don't really see what else can really be done here. Green 4 is just going to pick 1 or 2 routes to send attacks in. Blue 4 is going to have to pretty much full 360 security. That is the sound of about 95 or so players entering into T4. Blue 4 all starting off on the central island right here, but or central position, my bad, but yeah, we'll just have to see how this plays out. Briefing here. A mission made by Banks. Background, Finland, summer 2031. NATO suspects the Finnish government are about to capitulate to the Russian Union, which would risk the other Scandinavian countries falling and would result in the collapse of the northern flank along, should the Kremlin gain access to key Finnish military facilities. Interesting ideal. I never see it happening, but hey, c'est la vie. Unwilling to allow such facilities to fall into Union hands, but not wanting to jeopardize relations with the member states. To retain plausible deniability, NATO have sent a clandestine PMC to a radar base on the peninsula close to the Russian border with the aim of sabotaging it. Due to tensions across the border, a company of Finnish army, Blue 4, have already moved in to secure the site, ironically to defend it from the Russian Union. Little do they know about the imminent threat from their allies. Or is from their allies. Notes with apologies to uniforms and accuracy purists. That's cute. Alright, game mode here is going to be, looks like power cache destruction instead of general cache destruction. So these can take a lot more damage than your normal caches. I believe that one can only be destroyed via explosives. These 2 can be shot up, though. Render distance is going to be 800 meters. Defender pill point is going to be 150. No magnified optics nor NVG equipment. Otherwise, those don't matter. Orbat doesn't matter. It just gives us a breakdown, but we have that on the left side. Medium anti-tank, I don't think either side has an echo team, so that side doesn't matter. Blue 4 uniforms here are going to be your generic military tan camouflage kits. They've made a lot of generic kits so they can, tie it into more countries and more roles. Weaponry are going to be SA-58s and HK-416s with CZ-99 handguns. Mini-Me's for Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie, their auto riflemen, FN Mags for their medium machine gunners in Delta, M136s for their light anti-tank, and then crew and aviation doesn't matter because they don't have those slots. Nothing on crew served weapons, nothing on assets. Otherwise, Green 4 is going to be given your generic PMC camouflage kits here. Their loadout's going to be Mark 17 Mod Zeros and Mark 18. I think the Mark 17 is the Scar L, which is the light version. But I'm going to quickly look down. Nope, I'm seeing box mag, so this is the heavy. So they've got 7.62 by 5.1 based rifles. That's going to be packing quite a punch there. Or they can take 5.56s with the Mark 18. Glock 17s as their secondary, M249s as their light machine gunners for Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie, M240 Gulls for Delta. Light anti-tank is going to be the 136 again. Crew and aviation does matter because they have boats. I don't see any dedicated vehicle crews, though, under any additional groups under Delta, so it doesn't actually matter. Assets, otherwise, they get 6 speedboat miniguns. Mark 19 is probably going to be replaced with an M134 because FNF doesn't like autocannons nor NVG not NVG, excuse me, GMG-based equipment, and we see people flying around. Otherwise, looking on the roster here, starting with these guys over here, got Puma commanding the assault, no 2IC. Pierce leading Alpha with Azuki as the 2IC for Alpha Squad. Byron being the marksman of the group, which appears to be a Mark 11, and John Miller being the medic. Kabubi Face leading the Alpha team number 1 with Hunavar, Fawns, and Nolak under him. Alpha 2 being led by Arcane with Bashful, Eggy, and Alexander. Swallow leading Bravo with Hardcore as the marksman, Banks as the medic. Uber leading Bravo 1 with Ash, Tackleberry, Harna, and Eric under him. No Bravo 2 sighted. Charlie having Scandi Recon taking control with Azariah leading with Nemesis as the marksman, Flying Finn as the medic. Yanni Finn leading Charlie 1 with Cullis, Nimia, Iander, Naps, Batty, and Gogu under him. Charlie 2 having Pro Hunter, Skada, Rodrig, Camrid, Solomons, Martin, and Crazy under him. So Scandi only taking the leadership and the first team there. And then we also have Pepega Pirates on Delta, the 2 best communities on the same side on an offense. That's totally not rigged. Guy Fieri leading Delta with Intel as the medic, Arma Jesus as the 2IC, no marksman for the group. Korvac with Alec as Delta 1 taking both machine gun roles, and then Artson leading Delta 2 with Roster and Flux taking both machine gun roles there as well. You got some elements starting to form in Bravo 2. It's John with Greta. All right. Anyway, let's look at Blue 4's roster. Here we have Slushy commanding Curie as the 2IC, Jack as the platoon medic, Grab leading Alpha with Sam as the marksman.
How you're having a good day.
Looks like the marksman rifle for Blue 4 appears to be an SVD. I've got an NPC rail, MPZ, as in Zeta rail right there. He's got an E-Clan scope on it. Those aren't properly ranged for 7.62 by 5.4, but I mean, it's a guess and check at that point. Otherwise, no leadership for Alpha 1. It's just Olaf, Waldo, Mutant, Foster, and Seasmo together. Alpha 2 has Norris leading with Iqbal, Das MG, Daedalus, Bates, and Harrington under him. Night Owl leading Bravo with Dingo as the 2IC. Stats leading Bravo 1 with Yizhak, Orest, Sad, Tuxi, and WTF Orest. Otherwise, Rufy leading Charlie with Jabby as the marksman, Pirate Sandwich as the medic. Charlie 1 has Chris Holmassel, I butchered that, Gad, Alex, Gamebit, Gratis, Wombat, and Vindico. Sorry I'm being slow with these names, some of them are brand new. No Charlie 2, instead we've got Delta being led by Depso with NASA as the 2IC, Pogo underscores the medic, Bluck leading Delta 1 with Tymic, and Skipu taking the machine gunner roles with Kerrigan White and Ander taking the assistant roles. Delta 2 has Warkus leading with Bupk, and Azada taking the machine gun roles, and Andriri taking the assistant role. And we just had an unknown show up, and he was spazzing the heck out for a second. Otherwise, overall, side to side, I mean, Scandi and Pepega together, they are low numbered today. I don't see, major players like King. I don't see Legal Action. Scandi, I mean, they got a good chunk of players on as well, but mainly in squad leadership roles. We'll see if they can still stem the tide. I mean, we do have heavy hitters like Flux on as well from Pepega, but beyond that, Blue 4, they've got the OFCRA players, which are pretty decent. I have no idea how MPU is going to perform. New groups always seem to surprise me. They either do really, really well or they get their butts kicked, so it's 50-50 on that. And then you got your standard players you see week to week, like Mutant, Olaf, Daedalus, so be it, and so forth. Otherwise, Rekaneko, thanks for the 9-month resub, and Mustache Man Bro, thanks for the 55-month resub. I hope you both keep enjoying the operations, and I hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. And there is no Seedorf today, I'm sorry to say. He has not shown up today. It's because BIA is doing something internal today, I believe. So, I'm sure there's no reason to ask any questions about it. But otherwise, we'll be covering all 3 rounds of early branch FNF tonight. And then I don't have any plans to do any more streaming today or tomorrow because it's around Bloodwing's dad's birthday. So we instead do IRL stuff. But Sunday, we've got Checkpoint RP, and then I'll be using the rest of the evening to hopefully do a DayZ and a Subnautica stream. Just have that day heavy for streaming as I go back into my full-on stream schedule.
Okay,
understood.
We have essentially moves to cover the spots that going back.
Alright.
Before we brief my guys, do you want...
Trying to see the defensive plan they're making here.
I'd say the most central one, so you can respond to the like
keep the Bravo on the central one since it's close, you know.
So they're talking about holding the central position. I mean, this AO is really tough. You've got a lot of roaming hills onto the objectives immediately. This position right here has got a really good overwatch zone, but it's prone to being flanked. I'm going to be honest, there's just not a lot of good defensive spots, because anywhere you commit to a good defensive spot, it can just easily be outflanked. Blue 4 doesn't really have the manpower to defend everything. I would recommend they just cover this area and try to encircle. See the circle I'm drawing right here? That is the best they're going to get, because over here they can overwatch this area. Over on this side with these hills, they can overwatch down below, but it's going to pretty much close the CQC very quickly. The eastern flank is the biggest concern because there's just not really any good overwatch, really good defensive lines to make from there until forces are right on top of the sector. So at least with that, you get a pretty decent buffer right to the immediate objectives, but this is going to be a CQC fight. If I was Green 4 just looking at the map, knowing, let's see, we got a .69 and a .52 there, a high point of 154 and 127, but we have 9.4, 7.4, 5.2 to 9.9. I would put my forces all the way over here, and we would assault from where there's less angle, how would I say it? Less of a difference in terrain, because a 69 immediately up to the 154 means this is much steeper than this area, which goes from a 154 to a 122, 106, and then 89, and then 59. So it's a little steep right here, and then it's just a little bit of an uphill trek, but the way the contour lines are going for the terrain, which are these thin lines right here that show you on a map hills that, you know, are roaming or basically going uphill or down here. This is very hilly right here, but it kind of curves in on itself, which offers a lot of workable cover, basically to move little divot to divot to advance. And that is terrain that is really, really hard to defend. Because it basically closes the CQC and it just favors whoever has more bodies in the fight because of people that can just run around and flank. So, really tough round 1 for the defense. We're already seeing some Green 4 heading in this direction. I think Green 4 could shoot itself in the foot if they divide themselves across too many areas here and just push in a bunch of different units. Because Blue 4, their best bet is to just hold a 360 defense line here and repel what they can, maybe fold things away to try and take units out, but it's tough with this terrain because Blue 4 does not have the manpower to take all this, and looks like they're sending forces down to get the southernmost objective. I disagree with that because of just how limited their amount of forces are. Tactics-wise, when Blue 4 detects where an assault's coming from, they should take a force that's on a defensive line away from the main fight and send them around to quick English to do a quick side attack to potentially flank and wipe a forward unit, but then that unit risks being encircled as well. It's just, there's not really any good terrain to allow for any good tactics to be made in the field, because with FNF, usually comms break down as soon as the first shot is fired at an opponent, and squads are kind of just left to their own devices, and they will often ignore command orders. So this is just going to be up to whoever starts with the best plan, whoever tries to react to what's going on, and whoever's infantry just appear to be in better positions in the actual fighting. Because a better position can greatly depend. Basically, you want to be on the high parts of the hill that have cover to wherever you're engaging from, and not in the open low parts, because then you can get decked, but there's not really any way to set up a defensive line for that or predict against that, because there's just so many ways Blue 4 can be attacked from in this angle. If anything, I would just bet on not having Green 4 attack from the obviously defensive routes and just to reinforce the routes that Green 4 should come from. Because Green 4 is... I mean, they wouldn't go to the most... they shouldn't be going through the most direct route because they have the similar issue of manpower here, since it's only like a 90-person op. So if I was in Blue 4 command shoes, I would be just kind of trying to hold this line right here. Maybe have a squad with its 2 fire team-sized elements watching my rear, but I would just have a nice defensive line. As soon as one of those areas was prodded, collapse one of those defensive lines to go and flank the opponent, pull forces back after they're wiped, and then rinse and repeat, and hopefully just wipe more opponent than lose in manpower. But at that point, that's just as good as your local commanders and maneuvering of your forces are. I, again, don't think this position's worth holding. You want to hold these two. Mainly, though, this one. And you can see they've been building a nice defensive line around it, because this one you at least have the 2-story building to poke out and shoot. But even then, I mean, looking through the windows, you don't really have a lot of good positions to engage from because of just how many trees are in the way. So it's definitely a toughie. It's definitely a toughie. And once again, there is no Seedorf. I am sorry to break all of your hearts. He is not here today. In fact, we might not see him for a while, because I don't know when the next BIA versus OFCRA op is. Usually they have one every 2 to 3 months. So maybe if we're lucky, let's see, it's March, so maybe around May or June. And don't you worry, when I know he's here, I will advertise it in the title for you. I'm going to be honest, this one, I'm leaning to Green 4, but look at Green 4's plan. They're going to be assaulting from multiple different directions, and I honestly do not agree with that, because the only way Blue 4 can win is if they flank and eliminate groups of infantry on their own and then quickly pull back and set up a defensive line. By doing an attack like this, the only way it's going to win is if they coordinate all of these squads pushing in at the same time, and then hoping one of them breaks through and starts sweeping the objectives. Especially knowing that Blue 4 is going to be stretched thin. So my point in saying that is we almost never see that done properly in Friday Night Fights. Hell, we almost never see it done properly in OFCRA. When it's done properly, clean sweep, it's going to annihilate everything. There's nothing Blue 4 can really do against that, because all their forces are pinned at the same time, and they can't send reinforcements one way or another, and that's especially true when you have only, you know, about 90 people on the ground. But here's what I think is going to happen. I think Scandia Recon's going to get in first. I think they're going to, honestly, based off of where I'm seeing Blue 4 deploy their force, they're probably going to fight with Delta. They're going to probably wipe Delta. Green 4 Delta is going to come and take the southern objective. This force is going to come up here, also take the southern objective. They're going to move to center, take moderate to heavy casualties. Scandi is going to just do a massive flank, either run in and wipe Delta or just hit things from the north and come in. Alpha might come in through the side, and if Charlie doesn't run into Delta, Alpha will. Alpha will take heavy casualties, but probably beat out Delta based off of how Delta's spacing out right now. And then I see this as a Green 4 victory, to be honest. Because Blue 4 are just, look at where they're fanning forces out. Which I also agree with, except I don't think Bravo should be in here. I think Command should be the only element here. Bravo should be out making another defensive line somewhere over here to plug gaps. And as soon as one of these groups take contact, they need to be ready to fold another group in. Or keep this group in reserve outside the building and have them ready to rush in a direction after given an order. But, I mean, Green 4, this is a very risky and, in my opinion, not the best idea, because look at where all the forces are coming in divided from. So this is going to allow Blue 4 the biggest opportunity to get a lot of kills here, but look at how big Blue 4 spacing is right here. Again, I recommended a plan like this. Actually, watching my mouse. And this would have allowed a much more better defensive line all around. So if, you know, they were pressured right here, for example, the part of this defensive line could then flank around and come around. Or better yet, part of this defensive line would come in and flank around, keeping that, because this is another expected avenue of attack. And then you would have the squad right here come around and flank. So They have Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Delta, so both sides have 4 squads full of guys to work with command. So you got 1 squad, 1 squad, 1 squad, 1 squad. And then Blue 4 right now has 1 squad, 1 squad, 1 squad, and 1 squad. Granted, I do appreciate what Delta's doing right now. They're just trying to basically fan out right here and do an early warning system, and then maybe when they detect where an enemy's pushing in from, they'll then collapse on that position from various angles. That could also really work out, especially considering Delta has the machine guns. So it's a tough one. It's a very tough one. But I mean, from the map, you would literally just carve out, I would follow this red contour line right here, and I would just carve out my defensive lines based off of this, and then just make a southern position probably about right here intersecting. You see there's a slight line right here in the map that kind of goes slightly down that way. So you just kind of form your defensive line like so. But on the map, on paper, I mean, they're covering the entire red area here, which, again, very risky. I also see them sending scouts out. But at this point, when they realize there's nothing over there, this force can immediately fold back into somewhere else. Maybe to form a line right here, because it's very unlikely there'll be a fight right here. You could see Scandi do something sneaky, try to sneak along the northern side of that lake and attack from the north. But Blue 4 at least is doing a great job of, despite having a limited force, they're really pushing units this far out. And the reason I wouldn't do that is because, well, you see all the damn time when I'm in the asset and the interface like this, people would consider that lone wolfing. People would consider that lone wolfing. People would even possibly consider that lone wolfing. So I'm going to concede this. This plan right here is better than the one I put on paper because it evenly distributes units to try to figure out where Green 4 is attacking from. However, based on off of how I've seen FNF deploy their rule set, which I'm not going to trash FNF, but I'm just going to say this is proof that it's deployed unevenly. Rest in peace, Falcon. Whatever. It's just, I'm salty about that. But anyway. Green 4 forming a battle line right here. You've got Charlie holding along the northeastern side. You got Bravo down there. There is, by the way, an event coming up, which is going to be NA versus EU FNF. That's going to be done on a Saturday, I believe on the 21st. I'm going to cover it. And I hate to say it, I'm going to enjoy watching NA get their shit wrecked. But anyway. Rules have changed since Falcon was here? Does that mean you've retroactively unbanned him for the quote-unquote year? But anyway, I'm not gonna get into an argument, because that's just silly. Either way. Now we're just gonna be waiting for... Looks like Scandi here is gonna be coming along the northern side. You know, this is actually really interesting. Green 4 having their forces hold. They're actually going to go for a unified attack. Look at this massive concave. We're going to have a little bit of a gap, but I'm going to be honest, Scandi doesn't really need the support because of how independently they like to play. What we're going to end up seeing is this defensive group back here probably fold in on Scandi. I can see Scandi getting encircled and wiped. It's just, can that group that then wipes come around and just start systematically flanking the entire battle line? Because the only way to defeat a massive concave like this is to basically have a squad-sized element attack one of the flanks of the concave and just sweep it right to left as your defenses do their best to hold. But it can be very, very quick when you have this much of a defensive line with all these forces around right here. And it just takes one gap in the line for Green 4 to start pulling in the attacking faction in this case. So, I don't know. Another point, though, is that with everything folding to take out Scandi, that just leaves a small, paltry defense line for this force to then evenly go with, and then this force to flank and that force to flank. So, it's not really looking good for Blue 4 off the bat, admittedly. Alright, you're about to have some green 4 run into the first defensive line Delta's made. Azuki, I think, prepping to fire a Hunt IR round. Skipu's in a tree!
Mogę tu przejść broń zajebiście.
Azuki still stuck looking in the air, though. I think he sees a bird that he likes. Zevik, next to a 24-month resub that gets you the Silver Lance Corporal badge. I hope you keep enjoying the operations. Hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. Come on, look left. Skipu, look left, you chucklehead. He's trying to hide in this damn bush.
Jestem w krzaczku na górze.
I think right off the bat, Alpha's made a bit of a mistake. They have a very, very long, very thin attack line here. Scandi are a little more bunched up. But I feel like this right here is perfect for Delta to actually fight evenly. It looks like Skipu just fell out of the tree. And then you got 2 green 4 guys over here on their own. This is really strange how broken apart Green 4 is, and, you know, in some areas they're really well congealed, and others they're, really spaced out. And I get being spaced out so you don't, you know, get all murdered by the same grenade and whatnot, but this battle line right here is extreme. I swear there was a third blue 4 guy over here. Did he just get disconnected? Because I don't see a skull. Weird. And you still got these guys right here, but they're right under the hilltop. But considering the positions right here, this is a quite... It's a big chunk of forces, but they're going to be attacking uphill locally. You've got now fire coming in locally right here. What are you... Skipu, what the hell are you doing? Why did John just stare at him? Wait a minute. Bro, you see that gun, right? What? What?
Wiem właśnie, kurwa,
Okay. Yeah, friendly wiggle, right? Yeah. 240 go brr. Welcome to Friday Night Fights. Yeah, if he friendly wiggles, he's friendly, right? Yeah, totally.
And we'll kind of sweep your north.
Totally.
I need red to
All right, looks like these guys just ran up to the first defensive line and took out both defenders right there. You got 2 bodies, so Scandi Recon's going to push up that vector. Green 4 has gotten right on top of this position. Oh, my God. Hold on. I had to write that down. Grenades going in, just annihilating everyone in here. They just shot through, I think because they could see his backpack moving. That position got annihilated. I completely forgot about Pepega on the field, and they're in Delta. So Blue 4 Delta holding a defensive line. A lot of Alpha has actually been destroyed here. They only have a 4-man fire team moving up on this position. Now we need to see Blue 4 collapse what remains of their Alpha to fold in, because their defensive lines are just way too loose. Even though things were badly spaced out, they're actually able to systematically have everything engage hostile positions at the same time. So that was a great coordination effort by Puma, and Blue 4 is just way too spaced out now to really do anything. Skeeta and looks like Cam Red were able to get a kill right there. Sam has a grenade right on him. Yeah, Marksman Rifle's not going to be able to do much right here, though. Explosives being thrown in. He gets taken out. So you just have these major gaps in the defensive line. People completely miss PIDing and not noticing when hostiles are right on top of them. That's a kill. But yeah, there's so much Blue 4 cut out. of the actual sectors right now, and that's what's costing Blue 4 right now. But you got this massive congregation of Green 4 coming up, and they're just absolutely annihilating everything because Blue 4 was in no position to send forces around. So this group is just going to go to the central objective. There's so much Blue 4 caught out of position here because that defensive line was just too spaced out, and there was no way for them to do any proper reaction. So you have some of Alpha coming back. That's going to stall Charlie, but I think Charlie's going to eventually find the cache area, though they've bypassed it a bit. Maybe Bravo will come in. They've got a few units there. Delta will eliminate the rest of Alpha and pull back. Maybe you'll see Blue 4 get enough forces back to the central objective in time before this congregation of Green 4 pushes in. But now you're seeing a lack of, not a lack, one of the weaknesses of the plan that Green 4 has adapted here by attacking from so many different angles. Some of the positions that didn't have any support, aka the northern and the western, excuse me, eastern, are pretty much getting encircled and eliminated on a local scale, whereas Bravo and Delta have met up, taken out the southern position. Now they're quickly trying to storm the central one. Alpha 2's gone in with only a handful of defenders. Charlie's getting encircled and wiped. The two remaining groups of Alpha are getting encircled and wiped, but that's keeping Delta and Bravo for Blue 4 pinned. So maybe this force can continue to move and sweep these remaining two objectives. So it's really going to be a matter of how fast can this group go. And you got to remember, this is at least the Delta elements here. These are Pepega Pirates members, so they're going to be moving very quickly to the next objective. Oh, Kane is playing. I didn't see him on. But with these guys now focusing on the northern side, they might let these guys get right on top of this position. It just takes one explosive specialist with a satchel. And I agree, there's a lot of trees and a lot of stuff on this map that really hampers the defensive lines. But I think Blue 4 still has a chance if they fold their forces back. But it looks like you're seeing Delta starting to do that now. Bravo's still getting caught with Green 4 in there. Now you're seeing explosives thrown up here. That blows the rooftop guy away. And now they're just storming this building. Looks like they're trying to fire through the little slits right here and whatnot.
There's lots of us.
So maybe you could see Delta push in and do a flanking attack. Charlie still marauding around, could still find the cache. They do have explosive specialists. Blue 4 moving around there, but not putting any actual defensive security on it. We just need to see a satchel thrown on this, and it's over. Blue 4 is folding everything back to the central objective. And they're still holding that position back there as well. So these guys are trying to breach Flux, jumping on top of Guy Fieri to try to get on this position right here. Almost falls back. Yeah, this building is notorious. You cannot vault into the windows. So you've got Blue 4 pretty much holding against Green 4, but now Blue 4's QRF coming back into the zone as Bravo is now still haven't fully entered into the facility here. Meanwhile, you've got Foster trying to hold defense right here, but a grenade gets him as Green 4 were desperately trying to take that cache out. Olaf coming in with more grenades. That grenade has a very long throw, might still get Cullis, knocks him out. Now it's just up to Nafs and Nim, but Blue 4 only has one force right there. A lot of Blue 4's forces folding in, but I mean, we still have a big chunk of Green 4 in here. 249 trying to do work, but Flux was able to get on top of Guy Fieri to get in through the window here. And Slushy gets blown away as well. That's amazing. You gotta love the innovative teamwork that Pepega pulls like this. All right, Objective 2 on the north's been destroyed. It's just up to here. If there's a satchel, that's all they need to blow this up. If there's any AT, that's all they need to blow it up. Blue 4 just got pinned by other teams and didn't pull back in time. Green 4 trying to finish the sweep, but can they commit to actually destroy the final objective? They need AT or a satchel, and I haven't seen any of it thrown just yet. Looks like Green 4 is firing on their own forces here as well. You see Blue 4 desperately coming in and taking out as many Green 4 as they can. Number-wise, though, Green 4 definitely has the number advantage at the moment. This is still only 17 minutes have gone by in this round on top of the 15-minute safe start. Explosives going off over here. Hope Blue 4 didn't blow up any of their own guys. You got King coming around, able to get the kill on Depso. You got Flux pulling out the window, taking out more Blue 4 as they come in as QRF. I'm honestly surprised that we're not seeing any of Bravo trying to go in for the cash. I think because they're not able to get comms with Papega in there to know it's clear. But Blue 4 really, I mean, there's only 6 Blue 4 left. 5 Blue 4 left. Kiri just got taken out. At this rate, it's going to go down to elimination rather than the actual final objective being destroyed. And they're even blue on bluing each other. My God, everywhere you look. Everywhere you look. Every freaking where you look. So we're just, it's over. Guys, it's a green 4 victory. And again, this one's just chalked up to the terrain, in my opinion. It's very, very difficult to work with. Great plan by Green 4. Didn't think it would work out, but Blue 4 had 2 of their groups get pinned. Yeah, it cost a majority of Alpha and a majority of Charlie to get things done. You see a lot of skulls here, but at the end of the day, Bravo, who was just kind of behind Delta, letting Delta do their thing, just kind of caused it here. I agree with you, Slushy, but not much we can do at that point. So who's going to throw the damn set? You have an AT piece. Use your AT.
No, I was talking about this guy. This guy came out here and wanted all the fucking smoke.
Bro. Just call it. Okay, no, Blue 4 Delta's moving in. Let them have their fun, but, I mean, there's no reason that Bravo shouldn't be trying to blow this up at this point. Okay, here we go. Wow. Alpha had to do it, and even then it didn't, yeah. Get the second guy in.
Container, tackle the container.
There we go. I'm actually really surprised that that building didn't get satcheled in the first place. That would have been the smartest thing to do, but c'est la vie. I'm gonna be honest, usually with an op like that, I'd think, okay, like, what would have made it better? And I'm gonna be honest, I think that one was just chalked up to the terrain. There are some ops that are just almost impossible to defend. I think that was one of them. Maybe if Blue 4 moved in quicker, but at that point, I don't know, guys. It was a tough one. It's a close call. Close call either way. But, c'est la vie. Speaking French, I'm not. Never mind, because I just said French. Anyway, Chitaris Winter, let me go ahead and set up the next map. At this rate, FNF's going to go pretty quick, which I'm not against. I love quick PvP. Quick, down, and dirty. Anyway, what do I want to do here? We want to go to Twitch. I want to run a few things. Hey, that's me. Sir, please. All right, make sure that runs. Let's go ahead on to our map. All right, I'll be happy to see how Winter does here. Round 2 of Friday Night Fights, where it's going to be Blue 4 attacking Op 4. So, tabbing out, but of course my other monitor decides to go schizo. Where Blue 4 is attacking 3 Op 4 sectors. Blue 4 has an 8% numbers advantage. We've got... Okay, that's a weird list of assets, but sure. CH-53, 2 M2 M113s, and 2 M2 Humvees, while Op4 has 2 BRDMs and a BTR-80. All right. Tabbing back in across all fronts, getting my monitors back up. Monitors are a little glitchy today, but I'm sure they'll be better tomorrow after a restart. All right off the bat, I think the CH-53 is an interesting one. That shows that Blue 4 might go all air assault on this. Obviously, we can't make any real points until we see where the AO is, but that's an interesting thing to bring up. I would completely ignore the 113s, unless this is flat terrain, but if I was determining the slotting that I could do in this scenario, I would rather take the M2 Humvees and I would ditch the 113s, because those things, I mean, they're literally just lunch boxes. Op4 with the BRDMs is interesting. BTR-80, that's great. Put it up on a hill somewhere close to your base and just have it lock a sector down or lock an open field down on its own, because that thing can literally cover an area by itself. The 2 BRDMs I would immediately send out on routes, depending on where I anticipate the enemy coming from. The Blue 4 equivalent is the 1117, but BRDMs and 1117s, they're just really great mobile vehicles. You want to immediately send those to counterattack. But again, we can't really do much until we see the map for this one. Asset-wise, with Blue 4 having 2 M2 Humvees, they can use those to reconnaissance their routes. They can use the helicopter to do reconnaissance if they really want to. You can also open up the back of the helicopter and put a marksman on it or a machine gunner and perform your own little helicopter stunts with it. But there's a lot of opportunity here for Blue 4 to deploy across certain areas. And depending on the terrain, they're either going to have 2 or 4 M2s to work with, which is going to give them a lot of saturation by fire. Which side is Iander with the AT? We don't know, because they haven't really started. They just started slotting. We only have 7 on one and 1 on another. So we just have to wait it out, essentially. Next round will be whenever they fill their entire roster. But right off the bat, I mean, there's a few different ways this can go. But again, I'll save everything for the map. So, chat, how are you all doing? Have you forgot the recording? No, we're recording this time. I was able to write the highlight down to the friendly wiggle because that was pretty damn funny in my opinion. Because we did forget to record last week's first round, which was pretty funny. Great, you got a leg cramp? I do too. Bloodwayne made me bend my right leg a little funny and I pulled something in my calf, so that's been a pain in the butt. Chilling in the hospital? Jack Daniels, buddy. What are you in the hospital for, man? Hope you get better. You've been better, you got the flu? Ugh. God, I hate getting sick personally, but ay. Can he join you with the pulled hamstring? Yeah, Don. Ugh. Did Bloodwing screw you up too? Ah, man. And might I inquire what you're doing specifically? Just cuddling. We'd like to roughhouse a little bit. Nothing inappropriate, you freaking perverts, but... C'est la vie. What would be S, Jack? Usually people love getting sick. I mean, when you're a kid and you don't want to go to school, but when you're an adult and you have work to do, you often still have to go to work. Unless you're in one of those cushy jobs, but... C'est la vie. She came to my house because I didn't send her enough memes. Yeah, Bloodwind will do that. But yeah, no, for the rest of my day today, I'm going to probably finish building a shelving unit. I'm going to turn one of my indoor greenhouses into a fully sealed off greenhouse so I can put a reptilian humidifier inside to make a fruiting chamber. And then I need to hydrate, let's see. I need to do some math in my head. 15, 16... What's 16 times 1.7? And then that number divided by 16. Which, wait. I'm an idiot. I need to hydrate 1.7 pounds of rye berries. Broken limbs and fragments? Ooh, I'm sorry, buddy. That's gotta suck. Can a cider jug send the cap to space again? Yeah, I was able to fix that problem, and I actually do need to, probably tomorrow morning, I've got some mead that I've been letting rest in a big jug for the past 3 months. I'm gonna bottle it, and then I have a cider that is ready to be bottled as well. I need to get the siphon out and get all that set up in my kitchen. I'll probably do that tomorrow morning, or maybe late tonight, because today has been a bit of a crummy day because of the weather, but it's also one of those days where I'm like, I feel like pulling an all-nighter just to get a bunch of shit done. And then after all of the physical work is done, I'll probably double down on some video editing and finalize some new movements for the channel. I'm just trying to get as much front-logged as I can, because, yeah, just, it's been one of those few rare weeks where I've actually haven't had a lot to do, thankfully, so, you know, say I love you with all that. Alright, we're actually up to 100 players, so I'm going to effectively change that in the title. If I can type in the right thing. There we go. It's 1.7, yes, because when you multiply something by 16 and then divide it by 16, because here's the deal. New channel I'm working on is going to be focusing on gardening and mushrooms and all that fun stuff. I've been starting to really data mine everything I do. So for the jars of grain spawn I make that I then turn into mycelium colonies that I then use to make monotubes, if that doesn't make sense to you, don't worry. I'll eventually tell you everything about it on the new channel. But you have to hydrate 1.7 ounces of rye berries over the course of 12 to 24 hours. There's a few reasons for that, but the main reason is they gain weight, and it's easier for the mycelium to then, you know, colonize it and then, you know, turn it into nutrients. But basically, that's going to turn into... What's 8 times 16 divided by... Oh, yeah, duh. That's going to turn into 8 pounds of rye berries. Which I'll then put across 16 different jars. Because what I'm trying to do is, in terms of my jar math, to make a monotube, which is basically a tub that you use to grow mushrooms, I use 7 jars of a substrate mix between hardwood, sawdust, bran, and a little bit of gypsum. And I also put gypsum in the grain jars because I found that it really decreases the amount of time that the mycelium will take over the jar. Honestly, by like a factor of up to half, depending on the colony. They work much quicker when you put them in. But, I'm gonna have 6 different species to grow, because I've been really playing around with King Oyster. I was also playing around with Lion's Mane, but I did something stupid and got it all contaminated. So I have to make that again. But with King Oyster, I've been able to really experiment with everything. But yeah, it all makes sense to me. Probably did not make any sense to most of you guys, unless you're familiar with it, but because I'm using all the jargon. But it's just, that's the thing I've been experimenting with over the past, I want to say, 3 to 4 weeks. And just learning how to, you know, grow something without making a mistake. Because there's a lot of ways I've made mistakes with it. So, yeah. Loud. Maybe in the future when I have space, I'll try a bonsai tree, but I just don't have the patience to take care of something that delicate. I prefer things to be a little more rugged, but, you know. We'll see how things go. Anyway, round 2 starting to begin. We're on the map screen looking at the AO. Blue 4 has a single spawn right there. Wait, no. Okay. Alright, so Op 4 is defending. They're holding 3 sectors around Zelenogorsk. Blue 4... Honestly, with the size of this AO, I'm going to say it. Helicopter's useless. Because anywhere you would land that helicopter is completely pointless.
Send in
If you have... Because I'm
6
assuming this is the helicopter
now.
spawn point. This is going to be the general infantry spawn point, and that's going to be like a single squad spawn point to be able to get eyes on immediately. This is pretty obvious what you would do in this scenario. You already have a recon squad right there. Have it overwatch this zone. Have everything move through the forest. And take that area. Put your freaking lunchboxes and your Humvees on the northern side to give suppressive fire. Perhaps consider having a Humvee come around on the other side. Support your left flank. Well, on their orientation, it would be their right. Their southern flank. Let's go with that. So have lunchboxes on the northern flank. M2s on the southern flank. And just have your infantry pour in from right here. And hit these sectors left to right. The hardest part of this AO is going to be this open area right here. When you have 50 cal supporting on either side, you can even have the Humvees come around right here, potentially get into this position with infantry. You can put Delta right here in Overwatch as every Alpha Bravo Charlie move in through there, and then they can mount up with the Humvees and move it. This is cut and dry. There's no point in taking the CH-53 because there's no good LZ to bring it in on. Bor is too small. Maybe you could fit it right there, right on the edge, but then you have this... That would just get a squad basically to Sector 3, and you still have that danger zone to cross with no support. So... That's really it. How does Op 4 counter? Really simple. Just overwatch these open fields. So obviously have a group right there ready to go. Have the BTR... I'm going to keep this on the map so people don't think I cheat, but literally put the BTR like right here. In the best spot it can find right here to watch the northern open expanses. You could put a squad on and secure the entirety of Sector 3. And then just have a squad in Zelenogorsk ready to mobilize, depending on where things go. Maybe pair it with the BTR and have the BTR act as a piece of mobility for it. And then the BRDMs just literally send up the road. Send one BRDM up this way. Have the other BRDM this way, starting right there. And you can lock down the MSRs that these guys can go through. And if they don't run into contact here, then you know Blue 4 is going around the forest route. You can reorient your forces accordingly. With an op like this being so simple, it's actually going to be really interesting to see how these people counter each other in the fact that it's so simple. All right, I can get behind this. Mission made by Depso, Winter War against Russian, with an O, continues as the Allied forces attempt to break through in a different area. Area of operation, Winter and Trees, Blue 4 rules. Max 1 platoon, so basically they call a squad a platoon. So either Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, or Delta in Safe Zone 4. I would put the smallest team I have right there to do recon, just let everything else come in through the main side. But again, Blue 4, really easy attack plan. Op 4, really easy defense plan, but we'll see what crazy thing they decide to do to cock it up, right? Game mode, 3 sectors. How add sector works is there's usually 2 or 3 sectors. In this case, it's going to be 3. On the map, when the attacker have more infantry in the sector than the defenders, a 90-second timer will start. If at any point the attackers lose the number advantage in the sector, and this is calculated by infantry being infantry and not infantry in vehicles and not infantry in static guns in the border of the sector, which is this box right here, that box right there, and that big box right there. If the attackers lose the number advantage, the timer gets interrupted and reset. And then once the sector is captured, the defenders cannot retake the sector. It's permanently lost for the mission. That is how add sector works. Otherwise, maximum view distance 800 meters, defender build points 125, which is the default number FNF usually chooses to work with. No magnified optics nor NVG equipment. Medium anti-tank. Do we have an Echo on either side? Okay, we do have an Echo in Op 4, and we do have an Echo in Blue 4. So how Matt works is Echo has a team leader, 2 assistants, and a medium anti-tank gunner. The medium anti-tank gunner has the weapon shown, and then one of these, in this case 1 because it says it's ×1 of the warhead type, With the Moz, you can't tell, but with Op 4, usually they mirror them, so that is a AT warhead. So I'm assuming that's an AT warhead as well. And what they mean by per person is both the gunner with the actual launcher and the assistants each have one of these. So Blue 4 has 2 assistants and the gunner, so they've got 3 of these total because it's 3 people, and each person has that. Op 4, same thing. They've got the gunner, which is Iander, with Nimi and Pertin, who each have AT. And I mention Iander because for those of you that are new, Iander is literally the best AT player I have ever met across watching and playing this game since 2016. You will not find a better shooter. Otherwise, let's go ahead and look at Blue 4. Blue 4 in our Modern Marine Winter Camouflage kits. Their loadouts are going to be M27 IARs, which are basically a full auto M4, or they can take the Burst Fire M4. M9 Berettas as their secondary. Light Machine Gunners in Alpha Bravo and Charlie are going to get the M249. Medium Machine Gunners in Delta are going to get the M240 Golf. Light Anti-Tank across Alpha Bravo Charlie is going to be the single-shot disposable M136. Crew and Aviation are going to get a choice between the MP7 or an M4A1. Nothing on crew served weapons. They have 6 quad bikes for transport, the CH-53, 2 transport trucks, 2 M2 Humvees, and 2 M2 M113 APCs. Op 4, meanwhile, are going to have your modern Russian EMR camouflage kits. Loadouts for them are going to be AK-74s modernized with a choice of Eastern or Western optics, UUK for Eastern, Zentico for Western. AKSs as well, as people want to be Chads, MP443 Garaches as their secondary, RPKs for their light machine gunners in Alpha Bravo and Charlie, PKPs for the machine gunners in Delta. Light anti-tank is going to be an RPG. Usually they're able to reload those as well. Crew and Aviation get a choice between the PP2000 or an AKS. Nothing on crew served weapons for them. For defense, they have a BTR-80. They have 2 BRDMs and 2 Gaz transport trucks. Looking over on their roster, since we're on Op 4, we'll start with them. We got Corvat commanding Grav as the 2IC, Guy Fury leading Alpha with Kane as the marksman. Their marksman weapon is going to be the SVD. Schnuffles is leading Alpha 1 with Artisan, Army Jesus, Zoni, and Legal Action. Michael leading Alpha 2 with Roster and Flux. This is fully a Papega pirate squad. They've also decided to put Scania Recon on the same team as Papega again. What is balance? Anyway, Nemesis is going to be leading Bravo. Rufy as the marksman. Flying Finn as the medic. Norris is leading Bravo 1 with Iqbal, Uber, and Harrington under Bravo 1. Azarian leading Bravo 2 with Cullis, Poma, and Nafs under him. Pro Hunter leading Charlie with Solomons, Camrad, Gogu, Martin, Aim at the Balls, Rodrigue, Skeeta, and Crazy under him. Delta leading, being led by Ash. Wheaton as the 2IC. You can tell he's the 2IC because they have gave him the UGL GP25 system under his AK. Eric being the medic. Banks and Swola being the machine gunners for Delta 1 with Tackleberry as an assistant. Hannah and Arcor being the machine gunners for Delta 2. Echo is going to be led by Yohani, as we called this out earlier. Pertinimia and Iander. And Bates and John are taking, or maybe it's John. Who knows? But anyway, they're going to be taking the dedicated BTR crew. Looking over at Blue 4, we have Curie commanding with Slushy as the 2IC this time. Apparently, it was supposed to be Curie commanding the last round, but he lagged out, so Slushy took command. Otherwise, Patriot leading Alpha with Sam as the marksman. Their marksman weapons are going to be the 20-round 7.62x51 chambered Mark 11. Alpha 1 being led by Waldo with Seasmo Batty, Olaf Mutant Foster, and Otto Visky under him. Alpha 2 has Andrew leading Asada, Jekyller, Workus, Bashful, Taurus, and Chevriak under him. Bravo being led by NASA with Pirate as the 2IC, Depso as the marksman, Pogo as the medic, and Ivno as an additional slot here. Looks like a second marksman. Neat. Bluck leading Bravo 1 with Timek, Eggy, Kerrigan White, Wombat, James Ryder, Pajudu, and Adger. MPU taking Bravo 2 with Stas leading Ores, WT Forest, Yiziak, Sadavokshk. I can't pronounce for shit. Tuxie as well in that group. Charlie 2, we don't have a Charlie lead element, so it's just Charlie 2 taking the team. Kiss, I'm going to call him Kiss. With Vindico. Gad, Gratis, and Gamebit. And then Azuki leading Delta. Looks like he merged Delta 2 with him, so he's got Jack, John Miller, Lurch Vagrant, Alexander, and Jobby. They're all in quad bikes ready to go. And then you've got Delta 1 having Arcane, Kabubi Face, Mark, BI, Daedalus, and Hunavar. Hotel is going to be the helicopter crew. Don't know why they need a helicopter crew for this one, but it's Night Owl and Dingo. And then Echo is going to be your Mat team with Pierce leading Fonz, Nolich, and Luna with Fonz taking the AT weapon. AGF, thank you so much for the 10-month resub. I hope you keep enjoying the operations. Hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. Striking, thanks for the bits. I'm doing all right, man. Hope you're doing okay. And Jack Daniels, thanks for the 9-month resub. Again, excuse me, the 6-month resub 9 minutes ago. My bad, misread that. Hope you are doing well in the hospital, my friend. Hope you recover quickly, and I hope you get all of you get a nice kick out of this scenario. All right, so as I said, helicopter's kind of eh. The elements right here, I guess they're meant to go here so they can get into the chopper. But again, the chopper's pointless. There's not really anywhere they can land that thing without Op4 immediately knowing where they're coming from. Quad bikes are up here, but they have an extra man, which makes that kind of pointless, but okay. They're going to just use this to get Delta immediately into somewhere in the AO, I guess. Based off their angle, it looks like they're going to come down and get on Overwatch right here, maybe come all the way down here in Overwatch. Definitely Overwatch from the south, and then the rest of the main force is going to be coming in right here. You got the 2 M2 113s, 2 M2 Humvees, 2 transport trucks. This is where a bulk of the infantry is going to come from. We'll see where they decide to go. Again, I'm standing by the fact that just, you know, get your forces into here, lock this area down. This is going to be the only kill zone you have to work with, get into the town. You can sweep stuff down as well, get to your first objective right here, which is just where Op4 has spawned. Gonna be a bit of a bitch to get there, but I mean, with your M2s overwatching, it should be fine because you can suppress anything that fires at you. Then you go through the forest, you get to Sector 2, which is this little medical military base here. On a plateau as well. It looks like they smoothed this out with Deformer, which love that damn mod. And then you just go down and you take Sector 3 right there. This is not a hard scenario, but let's see what they do, man. No betting? There is betting. Refresh your page. Who's Savo? I mean, we can look real quick. It looks like they do have optics on the side with these cameras, so they could use it for reconnaissance. You do see a camera right there as well. But I'm going to be honest, this is one of those few ops where I don't really think you need the reconnaissance here, because you already have the recon team that can link up your position, despite them, I think, are going to go on an Overwatch element, but c'est la vie. Loud, I would let you know, but they violate Twitch TOS, even though Twitch somehow let them become usernames for Twitch, but I have been demonetized for saying them. We're in a dystopia. Rules are applied unevenly everywhere we go, so you just gotta work with what you got. So I'm curious here. I think they moved all the infantry, yep, to the convoy or to Echo to move out via those quad bikes. I'm gonna be honest, I'm leaning towards Blue 4 on a tactical level, but usually when I see ops like this, I'm disappointed by the tactics, so Op 4, I could see them doing something. We got the BTR going all the way to the south. I think because they want to set up an Overwatch position right here. You know, actually, that's not a bad idea. Put the BTR back here, and it can literally cover most of the AO backline here. That's a very good idea. Yeah, just have it drive back and forth along this road, and it can cover everything. So yeah, good call on the commander there for that one. That would be Korvac. BRDM should immediately go into the AO, though, but I have a sneaking suspicion they're going to use those for static defense. Looks like instead they're giving one to command and one to Alpha 1 to work with as basically an elevated turret. Not the worst thing you can do with it. Using it as a fire support element, I would say the best roles for them are just dedicated, you know, recon and eliminate enemy convoys coming in, especially with an AO like this where there's only 2 routes they could go. But, you know, c'est la vie. Shut up, what's that? So are you. And you're on, too. I'm by. And I get extra points for that, so c'est la vie. Ah, man. Either way, Blue 4, if they try to assault through these open fields on the front, are going to get screwed up because Op 4 has, you know, a bunch of Overwatch on there. Blue 4's best bet is to literally come in through the flank and try to come in where there is an area where there's not a lot of open ground. Anywhere they go is going to be open, but at least right here they have a little bit to work with. If they can get their 50 cals in position to Overwatch, that would be great. But, yeah. We'll see what Delta decides to do as well. I have a feeling this is going to go poorly, but hey, let's go. Mercus, sometimes I focus on various different things to say. It changes week to week. Alright, hold up. I want to see the point spread right here for the poll. A lot of points went on Op 4. And I don't blame you, because you have both Papega and Scandi Recon together. That's the biggest blunder I've seen. 2 rounds back-to-back where they put 2 of the best communities together. What's that? Shut up. You would think that, Jack, but both have the same penetration value, and if anything, I'd argue the 50 cal is actually better than the KPTV 14.5mm because both can penetrate through vehicles, but the KPTV has half the ammo. It only has 50 round boxes, and the M2 has 100 round boxes. So usually on a 1-to-1 engagement, the 50 cal will beat the BTR. Only if the KPTV can get a shot on the 50 cal asset first does it usually win. And of course, 3 of you make sexual jokes off of that. Alright. Cool. Alright, rounds begun. Let's see how much of a chucklehead this is. Alternatively, this actually looks kind of badass. I was half expecting someone to crash into a tree. It kind of sucks that they have a guy back there, but all right. Looks like a mission from Modern Warfare 2, yeah, right? Yeah, so they're basically gonna come around as I predicted and set up Overwatch somewhere around here. Blue 4 convoy looks like they're immediately turning into where I predicted they'd go. It's because there's 6 quad bikes that can take 12 people, but they're a 13-man squad. So Jack has to walk it. Maybe we'll see one of the quad bikes dismount a guy and then they'll go back. They're commenting that they almost hit each other. Yep, there it is. There it is, I called it. I was waiting for that. Someone was gonna kill themselves.
We've had a casualty. Colonel King is unconscious. He hit a tree.
What? How?
That was your fault. 100% your fault. You hit that tree.
How did I hit the tree? Dude, there was
Alright, let's get back in. We're out of here.
Yes.
So yeah, now the formation's getting broken apart a little bit. Wait, why are there floating towers? What on earth? What the hell happened here? Like... Okay. So it looks like they're choosing this location to dismount. They're still working on people over there. Jack still has a ways to go.
Oh, yeah?
Blue 4 mostly dismounting right here. Looks like they're doing a dismount right here. to do Overwatch, but that also shows me that Blue 4 intends to attack through this open hellhole, and that is going to be costly. All right. Interesting. Okay, no. So that, I believe, is the Matt team utilizing a truck to get around. That, I think, is the one dangerous thing in this new realm of FNF, and that's the Matt team, because they're allowed to basically go out as an independent group and snipe vehicles. So the BTR, it's been tasked to be back here in case Blue 4 actually decides to do a rear dismount. And I think they're going to do a fake landing back here to make them think they're dismounting right there, which is what's drawing these infantry in. So good use of tactic by the CH-53 to bait out more forces. That's also going to potentially pull the truck down south. A little worried about this attack strategy, though. Yeah, so they did send a quad bike back to go pick Jack up. So this element's going to pick somewhere to overwatch this group going in. Maybe hook up right here, or maybe just completely bypass and set up right here. These guys, looks like they're engaging early on, because they spotted some Blue 4 moving around up there. That's going to be called out. This is round 2, yes. Got some GLs firing.
Old shot hitting them while they're moving.
Cut. Just south.
Marksmen are exchanging fire.
Standing apart.
CH-53 now flying directly over the AO to try to bait out anyone to fire at it. But yeah, having these guys out of position, good call for now. This is what's worrying me, is because these guys, based off their movement, they're intending to basically go right here. They're going to get slaughtered, but I guess that's to bait these guys to stay in a defensive line so this force can come around and flank. Based off of where these guys are moving, I do think they want to get into the forest right here, but it's really, really weird here. How does a Humvee equal a BTR? That's a good Malin question. Ramming is how, but you're not allowed to do that in this community. Look, I don't know. I already gave my rant in round 1. I'm not gonna critique anything anymore. They actually just fire an RPG up at the Sea Stallion. We'll give it to him. It was close. reconning these points out. You got the main force coming around right here. I guess these guys are out here as a distraction to keep this line the way it is. That way this group can come in and just systematically sweep it. Now you got the KPTV trying to hit the Sea Stallion, but the rounds are falling short. Command's taking a 113 and is now blindly firing over here. Ironically, the shots are heading over and they're heading into the fire. This just shows they're trying to basically keep this defense line right here to make them think the attack's coming from that direction, and Op4 might actually buy it.
Shift to look southwest. There's a squad way closer than what you're shooting at right now.
And he's telling these guys to shift because of those guys coming around.
We go run.
No. No, you did not just crash your helicopter. What's wrong with my camera? All right. Great. Well, that happened. Whew. You got Delta coming up to where the BTR is. Ironically, they're not going to be able to do anything about that BTR, so... Oh, boy. KPTV now returning fire on the Humvee. He's trying. Don't see any blood on the snow, though, so he's not hitting. No, I believe the BRDM still have their optics. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't see that much of an asset difference here. I can see what they're going for. They use the Sea Stallion as a reconnaissance vehicle doubling. But it's 3 defensive KPTVs against 4 offensive M2s if you really want to break things down. And you're just meant to use them as overwatching elements. Yeah, there's nothing digital, it's just looking at a little piece of glass. Well, they're only better than irons if you can understand Russian. No. They killed the gunner that turned out. That's amazing. So, Echo for Op4 is doing a massive flank around. Blue 4 have their vehicles very heavily spaced out here. Delta's on the rear. They're about to get into a firefight with a team of Bravo, which I'm not sure if they just tried to friendly wiggle.
Like the PKM gunners. The Delta team.
No, they know.
Catch them in the open. Catch them in the open.
Oh, they're about to get ambushed.
We have 2 BDR rounds, so I don't want that to happen, you know?
Azariah making the proper call. This is going to be bloody. Cullis needs to get into a good spot. Oh, he is in a great spot.
85.
These guys just realized they're in a kill zone, but most of their guys are still walking. Oh, boy. That's 2 down. 3 down. 4 down. 5 down. Ouch. I'm really confused why the immediate reaction was to fire and not to pop smoke and try to run. So Az and Cullis got picked off, but yeah. Majority of the Delta team here got picked off. And you still have Jack on his own. He walked in on his own, and now he's still on his own here. Devour, it looked very nice. Main fight's continuing. Blue 4 trying to plug in right here. Kin and Legal Action are going to try to stem this, but yeah, Delta's going to have to pull back, and I guess he'll wait for assistance at this point. Echo on the rear right here. You got Blue 4 closing in. Op 4 still have a marksman and a grenadier in a bunker right here. Overwatch pinning this position. You don't really have the M2 vehicles in play. One of the 113s was taken out. Infantry retreating. Got this force all the way over here exchanging fire. More explosions going off.
You have no check.
Mercus, you do whatever the hell you want. More Grenadier rounds coming up to this position, but it looks like it's not doing a lot of damage.
Pop smoke southeast over this building. Pop smoke southeast over this building. Over this building, pop smoke southeast.
Double taps on that body. They want to pop smokes on their right as they move in. Yeah. The little NASA that could. Unfortunately, he got double tapped and ran on his own. That sounds terrifying, Devour. They don't even know where the contact is coming from. Echo is going to be right behind, ready to hit anything with vehicles. I'm curious if, let me look at the roster real quick. I don't think Iander got that AT hit, so that came from the front here. I don't know why my camera got thrown all the way over here. God damn. All right, now bodies are starting to collect. More smoke's being popped. Got one guy that's run all the way over here, Tymek. And he's going to continue to run south on his own. Oh, he might have just double backed.
Tymek, what's the situation?
So I think they're working on what Timek's doing. They might try to flank around. There are a few squirters down here that'll stop it.
North, Delta, Northeast, Alpha, you got the west end, right?
Looks like Korvac's redeploying his forces here appropriately. Yeah, they just repositioned their BTR to come up. Command's taking it over. And is now suppressing. Blue 4 doesn't have any supporting assets to flank on their assault, so they're just going to get pinned up here. In admittedly the thinnest part of open terrain right here compared to the rest of the map, but because they're so spread out and they can't support each other because they're just assaulting different parts of the AO, you're just going to see this reflected across everywhere. You saw it over there, you're seeing it here, you're going to see it over there when Blue 4 tries to come down. It's a mess.
Nosotros dos y Pietro. Alright, we're only three.
All right, so we hear another vehicle up here. It's another M2, M113. I think they're trying to range the gunner to engage. Actually, I don't know. Maybe they're going to try to hit positions on the flank right here. Maybe they see infantry, but again, with all of these assets focusing on so many different angles, it's really tough to see what the overall battle plan is here. Now, in the last round where we saw a massive surround attack work, it was because there were none of these big open fields for the defenders to lock down. Here, it's the opposite. That was interesting to listen to that guy scream about that BTR. He's shooting back there at this one infantry guy. Looking down, it looks like there's some GLs being fired down here. Kanon 2 kills. Legal action's taking an enemy rifle at this point, and they're being ordered to pull back, leaving the SVD there, which I agree with. The SVD is a piece of trash. You got a Humvee up there. I thought I saw a wounded mark on it, but that's Echo trying to drive in. You got the remains of Delta right here with one machine gun. There's the second one. With a tripod right here trying to fire at this position right here. That's going to distract them somewhat. They still got decent positions to engage that area. Did someone run off the roof? Yes, they did. Excellent. Oh, poor Echo still barraging around. But Blue 4 losing the manpower to make this push on Charlie's direction. And you've got Delta now starting to come around right here, which is what they should have done in the first place instead of doing that wide flank and moving out on their own. should be able to hear the truck coming, though. I can hear the truck coming. They got a light anti-tank gunner here that should also hear the truck coming. I don't know. I feel like Echo might run into Blue 4 infantry and get taken out. Oh, no, they won't. They're going to range the shot right there. Yeah, I think they're going to be called over.
Yep. 358.
358. Well, Ian's dead. Oh, no, he's only unconscious. But he did hit the 113. This is round 2. And it didn't even cook off. Weird. So team of 4 still up. Iander probably had to bandage a little bit. They might be looking for an additional vehicle. Humvee started pulling away, but they're just slowly knocking out all of the 50 cal assets Blue 4 has. I get with what Op 4 Echo is trying to do here. They're just trying to dismount where they can and take stuff out. It's very risky. But it works out for them. Or they just drive into an enemy squad and dismount and immediately get murdered. That's just the risk they have to take with it in order to be effective. So now you got some elements of Delta coming up from the south. They're going to try to alleviate some of these fortified positions, let the rest of Charlie push in. But as you see, Charlie's already been making a call here to put smoke and get teams down on the southern side so they can do a flanking maneuver on their own. They're going to link up with Delta and get up here and push things down. Looks like they're trying to get on the little ramp right here to come down, but when that guy went unconscious, he just missed it. Interestingly enough, though, you got the BTR and the BRDM that have now turned around and are actively engaging infantry and vehicles moving through this open area. They just can't seem to line up their 50 cal as they try to pull out of this area. We did just see someone get dropped over here, though. I don't know what took that vehicle out, but it's down. So that's going to force them all to move into the town, continue to move up this route. Blue 4, they've taken a good chunk of casualties to get to this point, but they are at this point at least. Alpha completely circling around, out of position, similar to Delta. Maybe we'll see them harass Sector 3 by the end of it. This is just going to push Op 4 in 2 different directions, and maybe the buildup of forces in Zelenogorsk can now get to Sector 1, knowing that Op 4 is only at a fraction of their strength. Grenades coming in, forcing Op 4 to leave this position. We have a satchel being thrown in here. That's to deny the building. Doesn't blow the building up, though. Interesting. Guess it was a stop infantry. Some of the infantry coming up, though, were taken out. Yeah, literally. There goes John being shot at. I honestly don't see the angle, and I don't see the shooter. Sounded close, though. Got more infantry trying to hold the line here, but Blue 4, they're going to slowly start to congeal in the central area of Zelenogorsk here and push into Sector 1, because a lot of eyes are still turned to focus on this line right here. As you have what appears to be Echo pushing up and eliminating Blue 4 stragglers. With very, very good efficiency. So you'll slowly start to see these lines right here turn around and engage, but can Blue 4 congeal and take things out accordingly? Something just blew up down here. I have no idea what cooked that Humvee up, but that, I believe, was Echo getting taken out. A lot of vehicles are just randomly exploding. I don't really have any good explanation for it. Now you're just gonna have CQC Village fighting. He was spraying between both targets instead of just choosing one. That allowed Ivno to just line up the shot and take him out. That was a little silly. If you can't choose between two targets, throw a grenade. What are you pissed about, Korvac? Ah, Op 4 command. How are you doing, buddy? So it looks like Scandy is trying to flank around, but now they're going through the same open field Blue 4 did, and Blue 4's Vanguard element on the rear is taking him out. We got Slushy trying to move in, only to be taken out by Swola, but I think was able to get the drop on Zoni. Not sure if Zoni will wake back up. I do see a medic nearby, though. You know, it's hard to say who's going to win this one now. I think Zoni woke back up. But Blue 4, they finally congealed in Zelenogorsk. I think they have the number advantage to take out what's defended here. You just saw Flux, one of the best players, get taken out by Ivno for his second kill. I think Blue 4 still have the numbers to just sweep this area, and you gotta remember they still have a squad in reserve here, and Op 4 just seem really broken apart right now. I think Blue 4 is just at too big of a critical mass now to just be stopped, and they're just going to bulldoze through the rest of these areas, unless we see Op 4 make some really good CQC plays right here. Well-placed grenades, some good satchels, some good pickoffs, but just have so much Blue 4 around that could really go either way, but it's leaning Blue 4 right now, definitely. I do appreciate the explosives being thrown outside. This is Depso trying to close the CQC, gets his second kill. They're using those Mark 11s basically as fully automatic 7.62 rifles, and it's kicking ass for sure. Double taps going in. Friendly wiggling his rear. Gets into a CQC, blows his head off, and that's his third kill. That is the power of the Mark 11, which, God, I love to see it when it's in CQC like that. Oh. Caught Medican. Caught freaking Medican, and Schnuffles blew his head off. You got too many Op 4 focusing on elements coming in instead of the units that are coming in from different flank. Oh, someone, I think Delta's Overwatch, is getting some kills. We just heard some explosives thrown in. I don't see the marker, though. Oh, it was thrown down there, that's why. Zoni getting target fixated, but finally he gets dropped by Tymek here. And then Tymek gets headshotted by elements on Overwatch. In the trees, man. Blue 4 starting to lose its number congealing because some of the forces turned around to engage some of Op 4. Scandy coming down along the rear. That might allow this small force to hold. Mainly it's the Overwatch elements picking people apart as they stop to basically get behind cover and whatnot. It's FNF, you're supposed to be confused. I agree with that statement wholeheartedly. So Blue 4, because their forces got split up, might actually be defeated in detail here. We still have this squad out here making this push. Not a lot of Op 4 in the elements over here to defend, but Blue 4 being forced to cross through open areas, and Op 4 might be able to capitalize on that. 18 minutes in the round remaining. Op 4 finding individual infantrymen to take out. But as they go through the open, they're getting taken out themselves. Double tap by Nafs there. So for now, coming in with 3 fresh forces that came in through the original pin down point over there. Blue 4 firing and moving as they're under machine gun fire. PKP coming in, getting a sweet double kill right there. Runs out, makes it a triple kill. Yeah, those 3 men aren't, well, excuse me. Never mind.
6 now.
I'm surprised I'm not seeing the butterfly FNF move the friendly fire.
Right, Rush? Ruspert, thanks for the 15-month resub. Another one before he's finally taken out, but he gets dropped by another unit. Oh, man. Op4 really making Blue 4 pay for this one. Their only main attack now is on the opposite side, but my god, this has gone back and back so freaking much. Swole on 4 kills right there in 2 minutes. But anyway, Ruspert, thanks for the 15-month resub. Hope you keep enjoying the operations. I hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. Blue 4, because Op4 is going in and out of the sector, they have the manpower now to take the zone. And might lose that in a second as grenades are thrown. Rolls right down. Oh, no. Oh! Arking getting lucky with the angle. But, unfortunately, still open to being flanked. Other Blue 4 guys staying pinned right here. Op4 were able to actually get most of the elements down on the south. And now Blue 4 trying to break through. Op4's got a decent defensive line around Sector 2, a little bit around Sector 3, but in a position to flank. So if Blue 4 doesn't commit to one sector or another and stays in between, they could pretty much get annihilated. Ooh! CQC with a PKP! Wins the fight. James has a grenade thrown literally in his position. He's dead. And there he goes. My god. Alright. Blue 4 surviving their suicide push. Now moving into the forest. They got some Op4 on Overwatch. Literally plinking at them and causing them to fly around. Night Owl being double tapped. 15 minutes of play remaining. Whatever happened to heli pilots? You're staring at one. He's got the MP7. He wakes back up. Will Op4 stop him? Looks like that's going to be a no, Chief. Looks like Blue 4's making a decision to hit Sector 2 first. Still have a few stragglers down there. 3 remaining Blue 4 infantry elements. I think Blue 4 failed here because they just divided amongst too many areas and just had too many different attacks going in too many different directions, and Op4 just, you know, stuck to where the obvious positions of cover were and won. Little bit of small-scale superior tactics by Scandia Recon as well, with a great ambush on Blue 4 Delta. And then that same team coming around and the remaining elements now wiping the remainder of Blue 4 and causing them to stagnate on Sector 1. And you got this remaining defensive line trying to lock this area down. You got Grab over here on 2 kills, though, trying to flank. He's only got smoke and flare rounds left on the GL. So he's trying to poke up here and get whatever he can. You're seeing Blue 4 getting dropped here and there, though, as they try to advance. Oh, hold up.
The other fucking way, is that fucking Zeb?
Yeah, they're calling that out as a friendly, but he's about to be keyholed. Hello! Ouch. And the grenade double taps him. So Grab was down. Oh no, he's still down there. Just down to 1 Blue 4 element right there. Pirate Sandwich. Cute. Ironically being pressured by members of Pepega Pirates. More infantry running up on this position. Let's see if Andriri can do any better. Surprised we're not seeing any short grenades being thrown over this immediate defensive line. No one abusing the keyholes here either, because that would be an easy flank kill. Ooh, yeah. Now they're using it. He gets the kill there. Oh, that grenade might get him. Yeah, and double taps another guy too, leaving only one guy in the defense line. There's a second one a little more to the north. Crazy what a good grenade does, eh? He's gonna use that same keyhole, isn't he? He has no idea. Oh, now I think he just noticed it, but now he's gonna be run around. They hear each other's footsteps. Ah, and he gets pushed. Remaining Blue 4 guy died right there. 2 Blue 4 decide to go south. Once again, I think Blue 4 are gonna lose this round. One defender remaining, but you've got the 4-man element of Echo coming in. Some exchange of fire with the southern position, but they should continue to commit to the sector itself, not get distracted. Did they just... Yeah. Yeah, Iander just noob-tubed a guy. He actually just got an infantry kill. There's the kill by the PKP with Iqbal. Now you just have Batty up to bat here. Yeah, Blue 4, it was literally 10-1 odds, but I would say Blue 4 should have won this one, but they just decided to do 3 separate attacks, and they split their forces up too much. What can you say?
Oh, you just saved me, man.
They're very appreciative of our work.
Hey guys, there might be west of us. West. Look west, I think there might be west.
What? Yeah, those are friendlies. All right. Batty trying to get a shot off. You can see he's struggling with the tree to get his camera through. Oh, that grenade throw. Oh, that is some bullshit luck right there with that grenade throw. I love it. And he's still going. Gets the second kill. Can Yanni go 3 for 3 on these remaining 3 guys? He's sweeping. He doesn't know where the last guy is. He's about to get shot. He gets hit. Running around. Spots him. And he goes 3 for 3. And that's GG.
Hey, he was the last guy.
Victory jump. All right, let's see how this third round goes. Otherwise, win by elimination and see how things go. I'm gonna message Johnny about that because that was pretty funny. let's go ahead and get ourselves set up here. So, still waiting on the mission to be changed out. Keep lobstering. What does that even mean? All right, Takistan. Uplink. Interesting, interesting. I'm going to change up my music, too. I'm a little bored of listening to this. So let's go with my classic desert song when something like this is involved. Excellent. And start changing up our commands. Change the map to Takistan, change the music to what we're listening to now, and change up the mission. Alright, this is an uplink fight. Green 4 are attacking. Alright. So with that, attacking. Three. Up 4. Sites. Green 4 has a 5% numbers advantage. And an off-road M2, blue 4, op 4 have a Dishka Hilux. Alright. And that is now updated. Tapping back in, and we're good to go. Hi, hon. I don't want to break this chair. Please. And you're paying for it. Yeah. Is the weather. I'm a little fatigued, admittedly. First round was a rush, second round was drawn out, third round, we'll see how things go. Within an hour, so probably by 6 o'clock, but that depends. This round can either go in 30 minutes or it could take an hour 15. Sure. Whatever you're willing to cook. All right. Thank you, babe. I wasn't dressed as a lobster, I was dressed as a shrimp. And we'll probably resume that on Sunday. You know what? I'll be right back 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead and make myself some coffee. Send in Goat Team 6 now.
Lilu the John Madden of Arma.
Blunt Traps, thanks for the 513 sub. I hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. The John Madden of Arma. Bro, I'm just here to watch a good game and hope it carries through, you know? Hope you're all doing A-okay. Let's see, how many random Discord DMs do I have? Send in Goat Team 6 now.
How is my favorite resident Schizo Wivu doing?
You know, I'm doing okay, Perceptive. It turns out when you don't play games that let your viewers control your schizophrenia, you can actually live a normal life. Nonetheless, thanks for the 39-month resub, buddy. I hope you keep enjoying the operations. I do hope you can enjoy the last round of FNF. Made myself some instant coffee, so hopefully this will wake me up for the third round. Just the weather outside is depressing today. Best game I've watched is Zeus? I don't really have a best. I mean, every time I fire up the interface, I have no idea what the players are going to do. They're either going to play the scenario properly or they won't, and I'll either have a laugh or be impressed. Either way, I'm almost never disappointed 50% of the time. Oh yeah, Yanni, at the 5-minute mark of this round, you're gonna be tapped in the face one time. That's gonna be it for you. Yep, too late. He's been caster cursed. I mean, he cursed himself in chat right there, so What can you do? Hey, look, the round's beginning. Over-under bets on 5 minutes. Honestly, if I were to be a viewer on my own stream watching this, I would not bet till the final 5 minutes of the betting window. Because by then you have all the information. And then the streamer's usually talking about, you know, what team is more than likely going to win. Unless some chick dressed up as a cow comes into the camera, in which case it's just that. But, you know, as a viewer on my own channel, that's how I would see it. It's going to be another airbase defense. So we've got 3 different terminals around the northern Pakistani airbase here. Big spawn zone down here. I guess that's where a majority of the infantry is going to spawn in and come down. Green 4, we've got a single spawn zone right here, so I'm imagining a single squad's allowed to go up there, and the rest of the infantry are just going to come up right here. In the past, the defenders usually win this AO. Now, because they're able to just lock down.
It's me again, some guy from Austria. Thanks for the interesting streams. 3.
Official Burger. Thank you so much for the 5-month resub. I hope Austria's A-okay. Hope you keep enjoying everything. I hope you get a nice kick out of round 3 here. But with all of that said and done, usually the defenders win this type of AO, but it can still turn around. Sometimes the attackers just rush right in because there's, you know, it's just open field, especially around the Terminal 1 site here. But Terminal 2, you can just lock down the town perimeter. Terminal 3, same thing. You can lock down the town perimeter, have a squad on the ridge, cover you. It's not that hard, but knowing all of this and knowing that most of the players playing tonight have played this AO multiple times, let's see what they do. I'd imagine Green 4 probably going to, if they have vehicles to rush in, will rush into Terminal 1. Otherwise, they'll just move in on foot, and then this open area right here is going to be a massive kill zone. Which, you know, it usually always is, but... Ah, man. Oh, yeah, and then another solid strategy. I mean, here are the solid strategies of betting that I've noticed you people do. 1, you bet on where Scandi Recon or Pepega pirates are. 2, you bet on the opposite team Pierce is on. 3, you bet on the opposite team I say has the advantage because I somehow caster curse them. Or 4, you just flip a coin and bet the opposite of what the coin says, because screw logic. That just goes to show how you never know how this damn thing's gonna play out. Alright. Let's get the show on the road. Mission information here. Made by Eric. Background: insurgents want to take control of supplies on the airport, town, and religious housing units. Weather information: incoming mist, drive carefully. Oh. Both sides have mostly the same weapons. Independent insurgents may only have 1 squad at another safe zone than safe zone 1. The mission started. This includes command units. They can start wherever they want. So basically, they can have 1 squad up here and everyone else has to spawn down there. Op 4, meanwhile, we got a transport truck and the Hilux in play. And we have all that gear. Otherwise, moving down. Medium anti-tank settings. Ooh. I don't see an echo on either side, though, so this is moot. But that would be cool if Green 4 had a full team to use those 3 warheads to eliminate groups of Op 4 in buildings. Otherwise, Op 4 are your modern separatist Cossack force kits here. You got your platoon lead, platoon sergeant, squad leader, team leader, auto rifleman assistant, grenadier, grenadier IR, have the hunt IR, 40mm camera grenades. They fire up into the air, then parachutes down, gives you a nice bird's eye view of the AO. You got machine gunner assistant, combat engineer, which has a choice of the following 4 types of explosives: 2 throwable explosive satchels, 4 throwable explosive charges, 3 AT mines, or 4 tripwire mines, 2 being HE, 2 being flare. Medium anti-tank, 1 assistant, 2 an assistant don't exist anymore. RA, RAS, and SMP don't exist anymore. They're part of a group called X-Ray. DMR, which you have 1 in Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie, which appears to be an SVD. Crew lead, crewmen, pilots, medics, and the base kit. Loadouts for these guys are going to be AK-74s, modernized with the M, or AKSs if they want to be Chads. MP-443 Grouches as their secondary handguns. Light machine gunners get the RPK in Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie. PKPs are given to the medium machine gunners in the Delta Squad. Light anti-tank is going to be an RPG-7. Crew and aviation, I don't think they've got any crew and aviation kits. Yeah, it looks like they're going to be using the car as a thing, part of a squad or command, so those kits don't matter. Assets, they get a Super Hercules. All right. 2 transport Euros, Kamaz transport, and your Hilux with 450 rounds of 12.7 across 9 boxes, 50 each. Looking over at command, we got Night Owl leading this group, Yanni Finn leading Alpha with Harkin as the marksman. Medic is being done by Flying Finn. No leadership in Alpha 1, it's just Nemesis with the RPK with BI, Nimia, and Daedalus. Alpha 2 has Cullis with Pertin, Puma, Nafs, and Steve. Don't see a lot. Looks like some of the names, I think, left, but that's fine because it's round 3. Bravo being led by Pierce with Fonz as the marksman. Luna as the demo specialist, so they're merging everyone into Bravo, that's why. And Nolik as a machine gunner, and that is it. That is the entirety of Bravo. It's just a 4-man team. Charlie, once again, they've put Papega Pirates with Scandi. Last 2 rounds, they've done the same thing. Guess who's won both of the previous rounds, but I digress. Arma Jesus leading Charlie with Artisan as the 2IC, Flux as the marksman, Guy Fury as the medic. Schnuffles leading Charlie 1 with Kane as the machine gunner, Moneyman, Roster, Korvac, and Tony all under him. Andre leading Charlie 2 with Warkus, Jekyller, Asada, and Cherviak. Depso looks like they merged all of Delta together, leading with Pirate Sandwich as the 2IC, Pogo underscores the medic. NASA, Bluck, Wombat, Ivno, Kerrigan White, James Ryder, and Tymek. Tymek, Ivno, and Wombat being the medium machine gunners with the PKP. Otherwise, looking over at Green 4, let's go ahead and look at their kit first. We have, uniform-wise, bro, they get baseball hats. They get shemags and baseball hats, dude. Let's go.
My balls feel funny.
No,
You feel funny.
What mod is that hat from? That's dope. That just looks dope as hell. Look at the freaking angle right there. They got the freaking audience zipper covers and everything too. Iraqi insurgents, bro, with that Russian drip. Oh my god. Loadouts are going to be AKMNs and AKSs, RPKs, PKPs, basically mostly what Op4 has. Assets and M2 off-road and 8 gas transport trucks that'll help them get around everywhere. Alright. Vagrant commanding Azariah as the 2IC. Oh, so Azariah is fighting Scandi. Testing himself. Grav as the 3IC, Patriot being Alpha lead, Kiri as a marksman with an SVD, Mutant with the medic, Rufy leading Alpha 1 with Sam, Waldo, Slashy, Seismo, Olaf, and Foster, no Alpha 2, Bravo being led by Harna with Arcor as the marksman, Major Khan being the medic, Dingo leading Bravo 1 with Tackleberry, Eggy, Wheaton, Banks, Argan, and Inta. Jack leading Bravo 2 with Swola, Ash, Eric, Lurch, Alexander, and Cool Kilda. Pro Hunter leading Charlie with Camred, Solomons, Martin, Gogu, Skeeta, Rodrigue, Otovisky, Aim with the Balls, and Crazy under Charlie. Delta has Uber leading Norris and Bates, and then Iqbal with Soy Boy, Harrington, Jobby, and Batchful. They're taking one of the 2 teams with only 2 of the medium machine guns. So with the trucks, they could probably rush up to Sector 1, but that being locked down by Charlie might make it a bit tougher, but I mean, this AO, just look at all the open fields around it. I've watched at least 3 or 4 instances of this airfield being assaulted, and most of the deaths happen with the open fields. If the defenders have the proper security, they die in the open field. If they don't, the attackers usually get right up on one of these walls somewhere and start getting forces in, or they'll go on this wall and try to move in, and then they'll just get mowed down by the windows right there and the windows right here. And also people on top of this Hainer that are looking over and shooting and then quickly pulling back. Oh, they filled the Hainers again with cargo crates. Neat. But the objective in itself is on the plane terminal right here. So that's where the first terminal is. Second terminal appears to be off of this broken truck right here on the side of the road. And the third one appears to be at the religious site with some supplies over on the side. Neat. The ODS Stripes gives them the 10% run speed buff. Oh, God. Let's apply RPG mechanics to our Arma 3 sandbox game. I love it. Oh, my God. So what do you think? It's going to be the Russian military versus a bunch of Iraqi insurgents dressed up in Russian drip. I mean, it could really go either way, guys. I absolutely love the baseball hat, though.
Yeah.
You know what I want to see? I want to see someone with this damn baseball hat get a multi-kill, so I can make an edit of it, add a bunch of obnoxious air horns, and do some weird, like, reverse editing. Oh my god, just to mess around. Hold up, Stream Elements just gave me an email. Usually that's bad news. Oh, shout out your Twitch charity donors with charity alerts. Awesome. I think this is a great time to plug my own personal charity. It's called the Lance Corporal Liru Happy Face Foundation, where for just anywhere from $4.99 to $99.99 a month, you can make a Lance Corporal Liru near you very, very happy face. Thank you so much for the email, Stream Elements. I'll be sure to maybe do something about that. Anyway. D&D style ops. I have one in mind because there is a magic mod out there. I'm just waiting for a certain mod from a certain Bethesda game to come out.
To the same risk, that way we have a better chance of winning. That's how it works.
All the platoon leaders don't want to take that risk, though.
Every one of your squads is platoon leaders saying no.
I'm hearing 2 people saying no. That's it.
Okay, well,
Look.
was no.
Hey, look, Vagrant wants to do something, and his squad leaders are telling him no.
Listen, you gotta listen to me. We got 6 minutes, right? And we got 5 different squads. Everybody's going to the same place, or maybe one squad might go in a distraction, but generally speaking, we're all committing to the same thing. So you're already at this point where we're almost out of time, and you're trying to completely change the plan. It's not going to happen, okay?
Well,
There's no point of talking about this.
We wouldn't have been out of time.
Relax.
Mark squads then, Vagrant. If you're so committed to the plan, start marking squads so we can
who wants
know
to
where
run
we're going.
the? I don't know. I guess I'll do it because I got 2 people. I'll do the 50 cal.
Striking Eagle,
We'll go
thanks for gifting a tier 2 sub to Check History Hunter. I hope you keep enjoying the operation. Thanks for giving $9.99 to the Lance Corporal Liru Happy Face Foundation, and I hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario.
Okay, well, we're just gonna have to choose somebody then.
How about this? I'll take a truck and we got extras and we can see how much fire I draw. I'm drunk enough to
Bravo, do you want to do
this.
green?
Sure, Bravo.
No, this is grab.
Voice this terrible idea, we'll do green.
No, here, Alpha can do green because we're the smallest squad. So
Oh,
if we all die,
sure.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're only 1 squad. That's good. Look, Alpha, you're gonna go. You're gonna drive in. You dismount where you think is safest. Okay. You don't have to dismount right there if you don't think you can.
Well, we're
There's
gonna
some
die,
hills
so-
you can use. You're gonna go there while the 50 cal is covering you. Everybody else is going to be, well, not everybody, but the other squads I haven't chosen yet are going to be waiting on that flag, and they'll be going in the vehicles after you when I tell them to go.
Vagrant,
Okay.
so we're setting up
No
a
cover.
one gun. Just so I'm correct, we're setting up a one gun base of fire for the entire platoon.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, hold on. Alpha,
You
how
want
many
Delta to
GLs do
take
you
the
have?
50 cal vehicle? We can have
Alpha
the 50
has-
cal
No,
vehicle and
it's
2 other
okay.
MGs.
We only have 150 cal, and I
Yeah.
have 2 people extra on my command squad.
Let me give you mine
being
so
dumb.
you can smoke out the objective for the blue push.
Vagrant, I want the groans are your issue. I want you to take them over the mission maker.
Subsidy
okay?
of Pay My
When they
Mortgage,
come
please
after.
incorporate. I love it.
In-
What's
in the
that?
chat.
Actually, you
In
need
this
to
one.
relax, man. This is like, you think this is
you
my
get
first
the
time
groans.
doing this?
I know it's not the first time that you're doing this, Vagrant. Come on, don't pull that.
Alright, we're gonna follow that.
Why are you doing
Hold
this,
on the whole
man? We
action.
got 4 minutes. You can talk to me after if
That's
you
all
don't
we
like
do for
it.
now.
I think we can GL smoke the shit out of the objective for the blue push.
Okay, now I gotta decide on squads.
Yeah,
so, Bravo, you're on the blue
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I'll come with you. and I'll
Charlie,
give you
you're
my
on the
gun.
blue line.
got
And
that.
Delta, I'm gonna have you do something else. So, Delta, just wait here a second.
Oh, never mind.
So I wanna put a little quick disclaimer down because I occasionally have someone come into chat or ask in the comment section of videos, Liru, since you seem to know what you're talking about and what you're doing, why don't you ever step up and command a Friday Night Fights mission? And I thought about it in the past a while. Why not give it a shot? And then I listened to things like that where someone who is literally the most seasoned commander in FNF, in my opinion, because he has done the most commands, will tell everyone what to do, and then they'll just look at him and go, we don't want to do that. And it's like, oh. You have to basically just be the bad guy and tell him, no, that's how we're going to do it, and suck it up. And then, piss everyone off because you make that plan. I don't really like doing that. but at the same time, you have to have that level of cohesion to actually get the plan done. Plus, I'm going to be honest with you, this AO kind of sucks because it's, you know, all this open area around Terminal 1. Terminal 2, also kind of open, but you still have that urban level of fighting, but you got these big open kill zones area to area. Terminal 3, same thing, all open around it. So there's no real good way to attack it other than trying to rush in and figure out where the enemy's defensive lines are, especially when you only have infantry, transport trucks, and a single technical. You know what I mean? And I've learned in doing all this since 2016, whether it be Zeusing, PvP, working with people, you name it, it is honestly so much better to just avoid people and avoid putting yourself in positions where there's going to be massive headaches. That dude just flew. Just avoid it at all costs, then, you know, go out and do something because you have a point to prove. Look at him fly, man. That's hilarious. So that's just my 2 cents on it, but that's just one example of where people like to be argumentative over things, and things can get messy. I love how they're using the jump spin glitch with what is it? Enhanced movement to just fly around. Yeah, the people betting are 50-50. This happened last round too, but the point desperation, it's literally like 10-1. He's still doing it. I just got DM'd by one of the players saying to kill them because this will be a 5-minute round. They're gonna go a rush play. They're gonna totally do a rush play. Here's the thing, though. And I hope anyone watching the stream back understands it from an Overwatch POV. The only real way, chance you have of winning is taking Terminal 1 first. But in that risk of rushing in and taking Terminal 1, you're going to take high casualties, and you're just hoping Op 4 has enough manpower up there that they're not covering the other 2 areas that you can then just run down and hit the other 2. Because, again, it's all just open fields around these AOs. These are the easiest AOs to defend that I've seen of the night. So, with that in play, you literally saw him going... Supplies is spelled wrong. It is a Liru. Hiccups. It's a Liru up, guys! But the only method you have to take this AO, normally you would have a few vehicles with heavy guns supporting you and suppressing any position that was firing at you, but these guys, they only have the one. So they're going to be forced to just rush up to this position, try to set up a base of fire, rush up another group of vehicles, but this is going to be an interesting one. It's going to be messy. And then they did mention they're going to put one vehicle group up to set up a base of fire. I'd imagine that's going to be somewhere around here. But, oh man. I'm looking. Oh, man. Maybe one of these days I'll offer a branch of content breaking down an AO and how to attack it properly based off of assets that you have, but...
Or not.
No plan ever survives first contact, and you're really just reliant on your local squad leaders at that point. So I'll just make it ironically and then follow it up with a video that says 10 reasons that your squad leaders are going to screw you over for. The 1st of April's coming up, too.
Hey guys, range will be 600 for you. There's nothing out there. Oh, there is a guy out there, but it's, yeah.
I do appreciate what they're doing right here, though. I also appreciate the fact that they put one of the guys with the frickin' Adios jackets in the... So, this is actually the smartest thing they could have done. Set up a base of fire with their heavy gun and have the vehicles drive right up. Yep, they're reporting a thunder run. Roster's in no position. He's trying to get on top of the pipe. Grenades are being thrown. That's gonna kill a bunch of people. Now they're throwing grenades in. Oh my god, they're actually giving Pepega a run for their freaking money. That's a satchel! He's throwing satchels! How are you alive? And then the rest of these guys are thunder running! Oh my god! Yes!
I did. Smoke, smoke, smoke.
Oh! Oh! There's just so much! Alright, here's what I'm gonna admit. That second Thunder Run shouldn't have happened until the Command Vic was up with the 50 cal to support it. But you can't argue with results right now. Green 4 have their foot in the door. Op 4 have a big chunk of forces outside the AO. What's really scary is this could still work. It's up to these guys to hold off and kill the remainder of the infantry around here, though. Oh my god. This. Roster finally runs out. Sam gets taken out by Moneyman. Malin, I want to pick your brain here, though. Did you really see this AO going any differently here? Honest to God. I didn't. Because they were either going to do the safe route and move up the town like they have in, 4 other times in the past year. Or they were just going to do a rush. Because this AO has almost always resulted in the same thing. Either the attackers get caught up in the town, and they're usually picked apart in the town by a superior enemy position, or they do decently well, and then they get up to this objective, and they're picked apart by the open fields. Or they just rush in. It's a lose-lose situation. Ironically, though, Green 4 still has a solid chance of winning. It's just the Pepega Pirate guys here getting a lot of kills because they put Pepega and Scandy on the same side for the past 3 rounds. And Guy Fieri, I mean, frickin' 8 kills so far. That terminal's about to be hacked. Now you just have to see the rest of the infantry rush into the other areas. Op 4 now trying to grab their infantry to rush in as well. So we just need to see the rush continue. Yeah, the fog's on now. You got that terminal taken. Now it's just survival of the fittest, but you still have Delta right here that can go into the other 2 objectives. Command might go in on the back line. That's the really funny thing about this round, is that it's a Charlie Foxtrot, but it's working. Korvac tries to find Patriot. Ouch. The hat was not effective. So yeah, Delta need to beeline it to the next terminal. But the fog doesn't... I think I see where they were going for with the fog to help obscure the vision of the open fields, but it's not enough.
Yeah, C1 silence. Yeah. Yes, they're like in the midst of it all.
I think he sees that one guy, but now he's gonna take friendly fire. That'd be so funny if a sniper takes Guy Fieri out.
Where is he?
Yeah, command rush in and take Terminal 3, and we need to see Delta go and take Terminal 2, but they're too slow, and they folded in. Delta was supposed to be a distraction. That didn't work out. So I think Op4 is just going to maneuver what remaining forces they have in the other sectors and just stall out, but there was a good chance here for Green 4 to win this one, in my opinion. It's just lack of movement. Guy Fieri always takes his opponents out to Flavor Town, man. Always. That's why he's on 8 kills right now. He's definitely been dishing it out. Was that his 9th kill? Nope. He was just double tapping a body. Now you got Command here charging into the final terminal. You got Night Owl defending. He's wounded a bit.
That's good. We need all of Alpha on Terminal 3. Their Vic is dropping off toward northeast.
Yeah, so Night Owl saw it coming. I don't know. I still got ears in FNF. I can't wait to hear about the drama for this one. I don't agree with how the first round and how this round were made. Round 2 was pretty decent, but yeah, it was definitely an interesting one. Vagrant falls on the grenade and dies to the grenade. But the grenade also knocks Night Owl out! Azariah saw the foot. So it's going to be up to Delta, but look how slow. Delta's only covered. They were about right here, so they've gone 1, 2. They've only gone 300 meters in the time Command moved around, and everyone got cleaned up right there. Azariah gets the kill. So if Delta had actually moved to the final area, they would have actually gotten, they would have completely swept the rug under Op4's feet, and they would have won this one. But Delta stalled too hard, and now that final objective is going to become a fortress. Burton rushes in and stops it. Op4 red on red up there. All right, Azariah, you're against your boyos. You're on 2 kills. What are you gonna do? Now, here's a funny joke I'm gonna make here. Here we go. 1 second. Arcane gets him.
Tower timing still.
Pierce lost his commanding ability because he made a similar rush play. If you guys remember the train op, the last one he commanded where he rushed everything down, which was done very ineffectively. At least Vagrant used his one support asset where he could to support the rush, but Pierce did not and just blindly rush things in. I wonder if Vagrant's going to get slapped with a command ban because of that. But again, I want to state this for the record. This would have worked if Delta got in line. But they didn't because they were super slow on the advance, so it's GG. But again, this is just the opinion of some armchair warrior watching everything, you know? I don't necessarily agree with this AO, but c'est la vie. Here's one thing I will say. If you're going to do a rush, though, you have to commit to rushing everything. So if all of your force is going to rush in to take one objective, you have to set up units to rush the other objectives as well. So what should have happened was, as this rush was going down, Command should not have stopped here. Instead, they should have rushed into the other objective. Delta should not have stopped anywhere. They should have rushed into the other objective. And the really funny thing is, if they did all of that, it would have worked. But by being slow in the advance to the other positions, that allowed all of the forces OPFOR had out here to pull back and get in defensive on the actual objectives themselves. And now you're just going to watch Green 4 basically get outnumbered, surrounded, and eliminated. So I see where Vagrant was going with this. There wasn't really any other way to do this AO, though. Because, as what's that pointed out earlier, they could either just come up the town, which would have been fortified, and even if it wasn't, they would have taken this sector. OPFOR would have doubled down on securing this position, and then Green 4 would have been all killed off as they tried to go into the open, because we've seen this done in 3 or 4 AOs in the past anyway with FNF over the past year alone. So it's a tough fight. It's a tough sell. Someone's probably going to get in trouble for this, but as someone that has watched this happen in this community time and time again, I'm not surprised. But with a little bit of tweaking, the next time we see this AO done in 2 or 3 weeks, I think we might actually see it done with a proper rush, but even so. Yeah, exactly, Maz. I don't really know what else he could do as well, because there's no proper way to do this because of where all the objectives are branched out here. Think it deserves a reset? Ouch. But here's what I'll say to any of the squad leaders that were trying to override what Vagrant was commanding. Next time this AO is done in like 2 or 3 months, I want to see one of them specifically command the attack then. I want to see what they would have done. Because every time I've seen this AO, the defenders have always won because of just what it is. Got it, restart mission. Malin, no! Don't restart the mission, no! Green 4 down to 3. Yeah, exactly. What's that? All right, we got Norris, Femboy, Uber, and Major Khan as our final 3, fighting literally like a 10-to-1 here, because I'm pretty sure OPFOR at least has 20 to 30 players left across these 2 sectors. Ironically, Major Khan might actually be able to touch the terminal. What do they need to do? Fine. Green 4 needs to channel their inner Adrihado. Alright, right there, that was suboptimal. That was not channeling their inner Adrihado. The Femboy has been twinked. What a shame. Norris, can he Adrihado out of this one? Alright, he's avoiding Guy Fieri. He's avoiding a trip to Flavor Town. And he Flavor Towns the Flavor Towner! That's what I'm talking about! Can he go 2 for 2? Here comes a grenade. Throw a grenade. I dare you. Oh my god. Oh, it slides off. There we go. It's a little late now. It's a smoke grenade. It won't even matter. That right there, suboptimal. Did not channel his inner Adrihado. And he even had the shack taken out from under him. So, for those of you that are new, Adrihado is the name of a player that holds the record in FNF for having the most kills. Had somewhere between 21 and 24 in a 3-way fight. And managed to lone wolf win the round for his team after his entire side got wiped. It was beautiful. And almost got banned for it because everyone thought he was hacking. It was great. But if you want to see one man literally Rambo 2 entire enemy sides, just look up Liru Shenanigans Adriado and it should come up. That round was beautiful. Hell, what's that, Erdan? If you can look it up real quick on YouTube and post it in the channel. I mean, there is no finer one-man PvP scenario I've ever seen. He literally has the worst weapon for this, too. Oh my god. I'm gonna go help Bloodwing make dinner after this. And then probably play some Deep Rock Galactic. Stealth 100. He just rang the dinner bell. Can he Audrey Hotto it? Survey says no, he cannot. What's for dinner? I don't know. I have to go ask her. All right. 17-minute round. Let's go. Thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Cheers and have a good one. That went about just as well as I thought it would. There's not really anything where there is.